This is a progress update on my motorcycle powered hill climb car before I disassemble it for a full weld and painting. There are still some significant items to go, mostly the safety structure and some work around the rear and front wings. I'll walk around the car to point out some of its features. Hopefully the camera won't be too shaky or out of focus as I go around. The front shovel nose cover is finished and painted. That's ply skinned with fiberglass and painted with rattle can engine enamel. The engine cover is all aluminium, although the front fairing is fiberglass, and I've made the shape to match what will eventually be the fairing for the driver, which is ex-Suzuki motorcycle. The diffuser is made and attached, and there's a completely flat underfloor. When I say completely flat, there's an exception for a faired-in alloy bulge where the headers for the exhaust system run underneath the engine. Some of the components have been removed already. For example, I've removed the inner panels and the pedal set. The car is a real mongrel. The front of the car is British. The A-arms are from an MGF. The wheels are mini 10 inches. The hubs are Metro hubs. The brakes are Mini Sport 4-pots with the MG Metro vented discs cut down in diameter to fit the 10-inch wheels. Mini radiator, but in the best Chinese aluminium. The middle of the car is where all the Suzuki goodness happens. The Suzuki 900 engine, electronics, and the instrument assembly. And the back of the car is German. Volkswagen Combi drive shafts, Audi diff in there underneath the chain assembly, and Volkswagen Combi rear bearings cut down dramatically to suit this lightweight application. The location of the engine and the engine ancillaries and electrics is sorted. That cylindrical object in the back is the starter motor for the electric reverse, which you can see fits in there very neatly, driving via belt to the rear wheels. Here we have the air duct for the radiator. Airflow to the radiator comes in through the vent here, goes through the radiator, and then travels the length of the vehicle to be ducted out the rear. I've made aluminium side panels and aluminium panels to protect the driver from the engine. These are screwed in and can be removed to access the engine from all sides. The exception is the panel at the back, which is steel, to protect the driver from the flailing chain underneath should it go rogue. In addition, there is a tube at the top which protects the driver from the chain, and also a chassis member which runs diagonally. The tube at the top is to carry chain loads from the diff to the engine. In this shot you can see some of the triangulation. Here, this triangulation on the floor means that the cockpit is actually triangulated on all facets. The driver's footwell is also triangulated on almost all facets. The top is a truss-like structure, as is the bottom of the chassis. Of course, it's open where the driver's legs and the headers have to find space to pass through the frame. The complicated cross-like frame structure underneath the steering wheel mount is a relic from previous frame design. I've left it in though because strength in this area is going to help chassis strength where the diagonal chassis members meet mid-frame. This area is also going to be reinforced by the lateral stay for the roll cage, which comes down and mounts in there. And in addition, there'll be reinforcing gussets top right and top left, where the roll bar portion of the safety cage fixes to the frame. The floor is done. It's 9mm ply, and I've taken it out to the full width of the full 1200 width of the ply to give me a sill on either side and more surface area for any aero effects and low pressure I can get underneath the car. The front of the car is 0.9 alloy. This is because it carries no loads except to flow air under the car, and 0.9 aluminium alloy is lighter than 9mm ply. So I've now got some serious welding to do, and then painting and the other items that I mentioned earlier. There follows a lot of fitting and fettling to get everything working correctly. Hopefully it'll be getting its first track outing early in 2025. As I said, a mongrel.